Hey everyone, this is Stan Gendlin with Real Estate Skills, and in this video we're going to be talking about wholesaling with real estate agents. Remember, before we get into the video, hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment below, and check the link in the description to get your resource on our step-by-step guide, how to wholesale with real estate agents. Let's get right into the video. First, let's talk about how to find agents to work with in our wholesaling business. There's a couple of ways to do this. Let's go through two tried and true methods. Number one, you can find agents that are actively listing properties online that are for sale and maybe say investor special or have some sort of language in there indicating there's a need to sell quickly or the property needs a lot of work. So you can start calling them and talking to them, introducing yourself as an investor who wants to work with them on this deal and maybe future deals. It is a great method to quickly build relationships and maybe invite them to lunch, grab a coffee, and start building that relationship. These are relationships that will produce business for you over and over and over for years to come. So make sure you treat them exactly what that's going to be worth to you. Secondly, besides agents that have active properties for sale, you want to look for properties that have sold in the past on Zillow or Redfin or other resources, and again, look for properties that maybe had an investor special type home. Homes that needed a lot of work, homes that needed to be demolished, homes that had fires, anything like that that an investor might have wanted. Same as with the previous example, call those agents, introduce yourself as an investor that works in the area and wants to work with them on many deals in the future. Grab a lunch, grab a coffee, start building that relationship and constantly follow up, maybe once a month, maybe every couple of weeks to see how they're doing. Do they have any deals coming up that you'd love to work with them and have them represent you as a buyer on all of their deals? Those are two great methods that you could start using today and work with real estate agents while wholesaling. At the same time that you're building your agent network to get a flow of deals every single week, every single month, you also want to be doing the same thing with a buyer's list. You want to be out there building a buyer's list, whether it's through social media, looking at your local real estate investment clubs, going there, physically meeting potential buyers, rehabbers, posting on their social media pages that you have a lot of deals coming up and you're looking for buyers that can close quickly in cash and want to be on your list. You want to be doing both things at the same time because as you have deals coming in, you want to have people to send them to and sell them and make a quick closing and a quick profit. A lot of times when you have a distressed or a value opportunity deal that an agent sends to you, a lot of these sellers want to have a quick closing because there's some sort of distress which requires they sell the property quickly and get rid of it. So you want to be building your buyer's list and your agent list at the exact same time. Another great method to build a buyer's list is calling those same agents that are selling recently renovated property, maybe newly built properties, and asking if their sellers that are selling these fix and flip properties want to buy some more. And let them know if you connect me with that potential rehabber, you'll send them more deals that they can buy, which means the agent will get more listing and giving them every incentive to connect you with that person. So using social media, using the MLS to connect with agents that are already representing fix and flippers are some great ways to start building your buyer's list. So remember, you should be doing both at the same time so you can have a deal flow coming in at the same time, a list of buyers that you can send those deals to and get your wholesale deals done. Next, as you're dealing with your buyers and your agents, you want to help identify opportunities that they should send to you. Whether it's the buyers telling you, hey, I want to buy in this area, or agents asking you, what kind of property should I send you? You want to make sure you have a buy box created as an email format so you can quickly tell or send your agents exactly what you're looking for. Price points, size of homes, areas. And same thing, you want to get from your buyers a specific buy box of what they want to buy so you only send them exactly what they want to buy. Secondly, you want to build those relationships with those agents to make sure they're sending you off-market deals. They can still represent you, they can still get the listing and the commission, but now these are going to be deals that you don't have to compete with because they're never going to be publicly listed until you already had a chance to look at it and put it under contract. A lot of times, agents' clients who have a property that's not in good shape, maybe they have a family situation where they don't want people walking through that house disturbing their family, because a lot of times you list a house for sale and you might have 20, 30 people coming at all kinds of times. It's very disruptive for a family. So a lot of times these sellers will tell their agents, hey, if you have a cash buyer, I'd love to take that offer and not have to deal with all that. So that could be a great opportunity for agents to identify off-market properties to send your way, and then you don't have to compete with anybody. Now that you've had deals sent your way and you know what your buyers want to buy, it's time to start submitting offers and entering into a purchase contract. Let's go over some of the important things that you need to make sure you put into an email when you make that offer with your agent. Number one, obviously, is the purchase price. You want to make sure you have a purchase price that leaves enough room for a profit to sell to your end buyer. Secondly, you want to have enough due diligence, which is the amount of time to either inspect the home, make sure there's no hidden issues, and give time for your buyers to make you an offer so you don't have to commit an earnest money deposit before you've lined up a buyer. So make sure you give yourself the longest possible inspection without torpedoing the deal. Your earnest money deposit. Hopefully you can get into a contract with putting as little money out of pocket as possible. So you should ask the agent, what is the lowest that you think maybe the seller will accept? If it's a $500,000 home, typically the 1% rule is what agents expect and what they tell their clients. But maybe if you're a cash buyer that has a good relationship with the agent, she knows that you don't want to tie up $5,000 on a deal that you're going to get done. She might be okay with $1,000 or $500. So the earnest money deposit is a very important part of your contract negotiation, so you don't tie up a lot of money. Finally, the fourth most important thing that you want to hit on a purchase contract is the closing time frame. Some of your buyers that fit this particular deal might need 30, 60 days to close, which is not common, but it might happen. So make sure you know what your buyer's ability is to close, and you get a closing date or the right amount of closing time so your buyer can come in and close on the property. Those are the four most important things to hit on when negotiating with an agent on a purchase contract. Now that you got your deal under contract and you've already hopefully been sending out to your buyers list, it's time to create and sign an assignment of contract to your potential buyer. You want to make sure you disclose pretty much everything except your contract price to your potential buyer. You typically want to get as much, or if not more, on the earnest money, so they put the earnest money down instead of you. Secondly, you want to make sure that they close on the exact time frame that your contract is, and they will fully commit to buying this deal before your inspection period is up, which means your money might become at risk if it goes past that point. So once you fill out an assignment of contract, send it to your buyer, and make sure you get from your buyer a proof of funds if they're going to be buying in cash, or some sort of pre-approval letter from whoever they're going to use, if it's a hard money lender or a bank, to close on the property you're assigning to them. So those are some of the key things that you should look for when creating an assignment of contract with your buyer to make sure they actually qualify, and also make sure they put down an earnest money deposit either with you, the closing attorney, or the closing title and escrow company to make sure they're locked into the deal and you won't have to put your earnest money at risk. Now that you've signed an assignment of contract with your buyer, they've put down their deposit, you can go ahead and take your deposit out usually at this point. It's time for you to communicate with the agent that you're working with, the closing attorney, or the title and escrow company to make sure all the paperwork is flowing between all the parties and you have a nice, smooth closing. At this point, you'll typically act as a transaction coordinator and make sure everyone gets the information they need and comes to a nice and smooth closing. Keep everybody updated on the dates, the timelines, the inspection periods, and what needs to be done to make sure the deal closes on time. This point, the agent will be your best friend and help you communicate with the seller as you're working with your buyer to make sure everything goes smoothly. Now that you know how to find real estate agents to work with, let's talk about how we talk and communicate with real estate agents. When you call them, you are not telling them you're a wholesaler, because a lot of them don't know what that term means or might have a negative connotation. You're simply an investor that works with real estate agents and looks to buy distressed homes. And you have a lot of partners that happen to be rehabbers that may work with you or may end up buying the property themselves. But when you talk to them, you say you're an active real estate investor who likes to buy several properties every month, and if that's something they would like to work with you on, meaning they will get several commissions and they can represent you on every single transaction. So if they're already representing the seller, they can represent you as the buyer and get both sides of the commission. Remember, we are professional real estate investors, and that's what we tell agents. that we are active investors that work with a host of partners, whether they be rehabbers, lenders, or any other type of situation, but we close the deals that we put under contract as long as everything checks out. And this is a huge benefit to agents. Not only will their sellers be happy because they bring offers that are coming with cash and usually closing really quickly, but the agent is going to get two sides of the commission. And if you also happen to be a fix and flipper as well as a wholesaler, if you can offer that to the agent for them to list the property for you, they get a third commission. So it's a great way to build relationships and ensure the agents send deals to you first. By having them represent you every single time, they'll make sure when a deal comes in their pipeline that fits your buy box, you're going to be the first one to get it. Although a lot of times it's ethical for agents to list the property on the MLS and not show it to you or accept your offer before it goes on the MLS, if they know you're a proven buyer that can close on time, they're going to push your offer to their seller because they know you're going to close on time and you're actually going to perform. Even if your offer is not as high as some competing offers who might be a home buyer and they have to maybe sell their home before they buy this home, or they're not fully approved for a loan. So there's a lot of benefits to getting to know agents that are actively out there finding potential deals, and they will work for you and with you to get those deals done and push for your offers. So those are some of the key steps to working with real estate agents to wholesale homes. Remember, agents are a key part of your team and you're a key part of their team. So build those relationships, take them out to coffee, have lunch, stay in touch, and you'll be able to do many deals over the years. If you like what you heard, click on the link in the description to get more information and get our free guide. Like, subscribe, and comment to see what else you want to hear about. Happy investing.